garden with the pups right now, and I want to invite you all to join a tomato challenge, an okra challenge, and a garlic challenge. And the reason why it's being communicated now, which is still 2024, for a 2025 challenge, is because you need to have time to research, decide what you want to do, and get your seeds. So the first challenge that I'm going to talk about is the garlic challenge. So one of the things that you will see that I have here, so this is just a sleeve of garlic from the grocery store. Now you can absolutely use these to grow in your garden. I've done this. Some do have growth inhibitors on them, but if you get organic, it won't have that. I did grow garlic last year. So here's the garlic that I grew last year that's left that we hadn't eaten all yet. Getting a little bit low, but it's still good. So one of the things I want to talk about is growing garlic in Zone 8. This is the Midlands of South Carolina. So the first thing is that clove size matters. So the bigger the individual clove is that you plant, the bigger the head you're going to get. So you want to plant the larger ones, not the smaller ones. So let me see if I can get one of the small ones here. And another thing, you have to have roots on the bottom of your clove for the clove to grow ahead. A lot of people say the paper is important. I have not seen that the paper matters, if it's on there or not. I tend not to take the time to remove the paper, but you can if you want to. So things to note for growing garlic in Zone 8, the Midlands of South Carolina. Number one, we don't get a lot of chill hours here. We do have a winter, but we don't get hard freeze. The ground is never really frozen. So one thing that I recommend doing is putting your garlic in the refrigerator for like a month before you put it in the ground. So if you are just now getting your garlic, you still have time to do that and still plant in ground in South Carolina. Again, we never get a hard freeze, so you can always use a shovel to get in the ground and plant something. So if you want to join us on this challenge, go ahead and buy your seed garlic. Or, if you don't want to buy seed garlic, you can, like I said, just use garlic from the grocery store. Just make sure it's organic, because the organic is not going to have the inhibitor sprayed on it. Another thing to note, when you do plant your garlic, they are heavy feeders. So make sure you have some organic fertilizer that you can, when you plant them, you can go ahead and fertilize. So I actually had already bought my garlic seed, put it in the fridge for a month, and planted it. So we'll have to wait and see how it comes up. But I do have some already planted out in the garden. I don't know if we'll be able to even see that I planted them anymore. Yeah, you can't see any garlic heads in any of the beds that I planted them in. And the garlic's kind of interspersed throughout various beds in the garden. But next spring, when they come up, we'll be able to see it and we'll be able to identify. And my goal, especially for what I've already put in the ground, is to harvest around here. July 4th is when I tend to harvest my garlic. So I'll bring you along for that. For the okra challenge, I'm going to use okra seeds that I saved from my own okra 2 years ago. I don't plan on buying okra. If you can get okra that does well in your area, especially save your own seeds, those plants are going to do better. Now you can see this okra, the deer ate the tops off. I didn't even get a single pod of okra this year. Even these over here, the deer just jumped the fence one night, came in and ate all the tops of the okra. But I can say that I'm excited about the okra challenge because I think I have a good chance at winning it. Okra loves the heat and humidity of South Carolina. So what I do with the okra is I wait until it is hot and humid and miserable before I plant them, and I just direct sow. Sometimes I soak the seeds overnight, sometimes I don't. Just depends on if I remembered to do it the night before. But that's what I plan on doing with the okra this year. If you're thinking about, what type of okra you want to grow, traditionally in this area, Clemson spineless grows really well for us. Now for the tomato, I'll be honest with y'all, I don't have good luck with big tomatoes in South Carolina. I never have. It's just too hot and humid here. I've heard shade cloth will help. I might try shade cloth this year to see if I can grow a big tomato. Typically, pests and powdery mildew takes my large tomatoes out, or the large tomato, the plant will start struggling to the point that I never have the tomato ripen on the vine. Now my little tomatoes, like cherry tomatoes, they do great here. I get huge harvest off of them. So I don't know, I'll probably follow the instructions of the challenge and just give it a go, see. But I'll probably continue just to focus more on my small tomato harvest this year. But I'm standing here in front of my peppers, and the reason why is because, oh goodness, there are ants all over it. Look at this. Look at those ants. Oh. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to do something, maybe spray the ants off so I can get these peppers. I'm gonna be making, and I'll share this with you too, I'm gonna make a fermented garlic honey pepper concoction. It's supposed to be really good, but really healthy. Thomas and I are focused more on our health this year, so I'm thinking about creating almost like a home apothecary. And so I'm thinking about, okay, what do I have already in my garden that I can utilize to create like a herbalist. Sorry about that, there's a boater. When you garden in the city, you have to worry about traffic when you're videoing. When you live on a lake, you have to worry about boaters when you're videoing. But it's okay. I mean, first world problems, right? So, if y'all have any ideas on herbal things that I can put into the medicine cabinet that's healthy, and I can, especially if it's something I can grow in my backyard, so I know I can control it. It's not going to have pesticides or anything on it. It's going to be organic grown and organic garden. Just let me know.